I got into Megadeth. That changed a lot. They were children. This song is just amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am ecstatic about this video because if there's one thing I like more than weightlifting and training, it's writing and listening to music. So this is a very important video for me. I'm going to give you guys my top 10 most anabolic metal songs. And I think this might be a series. I might do 10 most anabolic hip hop songs, 10 most anabolic electronic songs after this. I have also made a playlist with these songs on it. If you go to my Spotify, just search Z Tellender in one word, and then the playlist is called Trainings. So you can give that a follow and you can listen to it while you guys work out and get those gains. All right, so we're gonna start off with an honorable mention, and this song is from a band that I discovered in high school. I went through this like progressive metal, progressive rock phase, heavily into Tool, who is also featured on this list. But this band is Opeth, and the song specifically is Blackwater Park. Now, Blackwater Park is like a very long, drawn-out song with like a bunch of different movements in it. But that final breakdown, where the lyrics are, "The lepers coil 'neath the tree." And I am not kidding you. If you are in the zone squatting, usually I'm squatting when I hear this song. And if you're in the zone and you hear that breakdown, it's like, it's not like you're fully amped. It's just, you're just dialed in. And that's how I feel when I listen to Opeth. At number 10, we have Sepultura. It is their most famous song, Roots, Bloody Roots. Now, I had to put this in here because this was a song that me and my buddy Will would listen to. He had a bunch of weights in his upstairs, like in this random room upstairs. And that's like really where I learned how to be just heavily into training. I remember he had like pre-workout and like creatine and all this stuff and whey protein, and I just loved like taking that. And his older brother and him, they just had like the coolest music, and I just remember this song vividly. And I don't know if their current drummer Eloy Casagrande was on the band back when this song came out, in the band when this song came out. I don't think so, because I think he's really young. But there might not be a more powerful drummer or skilled drummer in metal than Eloy Casagrande. There is a video that you guys need to see where he covers a Slipknot song. And it is absolutely insane. No triggers on the foot pedals. So usually guys use triggers to make it so that they don't have to hit the pedals as hard and they can just go really fast. Zero triggers and power. Each one of his double bass pedal hits are just powerful, and it's incredibly fast. Dude has to have the most jacked legs in all of metal. Up next at number 9, we have Mastodon, Blood and Thunder. Now this is a band that I actually got into more in recent years, I think. I didn't really give them a chance when they first came out, and I love that their drummer sings. Awesome band, and this is by far my favorite song by them. If you guys have any other Mastodon suggestions, please put that in the comments below. I love that band. They have a really cool, like, harder rock, kind of like, I want to say when rock and roll became a little bit harder, when like Sabbath came out and like late stage Zeppelin, they kind of have that feel to it. They also have a little bit of a thrash feel to them. Really just awesome sound. Up next at number 8, I just like gave myself chills by looking at this band. It is Meshuggah. Now this song, again, with my buddy Will, we're in his Jeep Cherokee. His brand new Jeep Cherokee at the time. I think it was 2007, 2006. He puts it on max and he plays this song called Soul Burn. And this song, it flipped a switch in my brain. It just like, it flipped something in my brain, and I just like was never going to come back from that point. When I was getting into heavy metal, and this was so heavy, and I needed more of it. So that's where I really started listening to Meshuggah. And then I went and bought tickets for a Meshuggah concert in Chicago at the House of Blues. And I got to the venue, and I remember my buddy had a fake ID, so I wanted to get a Budweiser. So he gave me a Budweiser, but I didn't have a wristband on. So The Faceless is another band that some of you may know, but they were on before Meshuggah, and they were opening up. And I was drinking my beer, and there was a security guard, and all he was doing was looking for people to be drinking who didn't have the 21-year-old wristband. And he comes down and he grabs me and he kicks me out. As I'm getting kicked out, Meshuggah is coming on stage. I still have yet to see Meshuggah. This was, I don't know, 16, 17 years ago. And that was tragic. That's my Meshuggah story. And so with the next of these bands, I have secondary songs for them. So my secondary song for Meshuggah is Bleed. Had to put that in there. Everyone who ever hears about Meshuggah or knows about it knows about Bleed and knows about that double bass pedal rhythm. It's almost like a paradiddle on the drums. It's very wild and it's cool. I believe it's a polyrhythm that he just continually plays throughout. And the drummer, is it Thomas Hawk? Off the top of my head, Thomas Hawk? I think it is. It's like he's got two different bodies. There's the lower half is doing something, and the upper half just keeps time in 4/4. And it's ridiculous, actually. I don't know how it's possible. Literally, like, the funniest thing is he'll just do quarters on like a china, and then like half notes on the snare, and then his bass pedals will be like it's just two different brains are doing two different things. I'm not going to nerd out on Meshuggah too much longer. The next song is by Alien Weaponry, and it's called Kai Tangata. So this band I saw this is very recently, found these guys out, probably like 2 or 3 years ago, and I saw a video of them performing, and it's a trio, and they were children. They were like 18 years old, 19 years old, and they were at like a big festival venue, and they were throwing down. The coolest thing too is they have Maori backgrounds, so they're from New Zealand, and they have full songs with in this one included in that like Maori language, and I don't want to mess up the history and all of that, but I thought that was incredibly cool. This song is very catchy, very heavy, and to think that this was made by teenagers is just ridiculous. I highly suggest listening to it. Up next, now, look, any of these next 6 songs and bands could be flipped around, maybe besides the number one. And up next is Tool. And Tool is probably one of the most important bands in my entire life. I finally was able to see Tool last year, and it was remarkable. It was everything I had hoped it to be. I have been listening to Tool now for almost 20 years, and I had to pick 2 songs, and these 2 songs, again, a lot when I have to pick songs from these bands, I think about times where they were important to me and where they meant a lot to me. So Vicarious was the first Tool song I ever heard. I'm so lucky that was my first song. Like, it's so cool to not have Schism or Sober, the classic Tool songs that everyone hears first, but Vicarious. And the breakdown in Vicarious is so goddamn catchy, and the fact that it's in 5/4. Actually, is that part in 5/4? Yes, the breakdown is in 5/4, and I think it's one of the best songs in 5/4. I really do. Oh yeah, in second place for Tool is Ticks and Leeches. I love the intro riff or rhythm or pattern that Danny Carey has in that song, and then the famous scream from Maynard Keenan. This is a song that I love to listen to while I'm training, just like Vicarious. I had to pick 2 songs, guys. It could be anything, but I had to throw that in there. Number 5, Slipknot. Both of these songs I know I'm going to get shit for because they're not like classic Slipknot songs. Well, one of them is a little bit older, but the one that I'm going to go with is The Devil in I, and that is just because of the way it makes me feel. And this is a very recent feeling that I've had. I love the catchiness of this. The verses are so catchy. The melody that Corey Taylor uses. Like, I am a total sucker for melody, but I'm also a total sucker for energy, and that's why I love metal. And so when you can mix the two, it's just like, it's awesome. So that's why in second place for Slipknot, I have Unsainted. You know, it's melody mixed with energy, and it's that classic Slipknot energy too, like the jum 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 jum, like fast, and then there's that chorus that's just like so goddamn catchy. Like, I'll sing it all day long. Number 4, my first metal band ever, the one that I gave into. I used to be a total classic rock snob because that's what I grew up listening to, and I got into Megadeth, and that changed a lot, but I stayed at that level. It was like Megadeth or Metallica and certain thrash bands that were like closer to that classic rock era. That's where I stayed for a long time, and then you'll see the next band is what pushed me over the limits. But with Megadeth, it's Holy Wars, and this is, again, all these songs are very famous. Like, I could give you guys deep cuts, but I've got these new found respect for these songs, and Holy Wars is one of these songs that, like, it's just incredible. It's just incredible. It's like, we're so lucky to hear music like this, I've always been a massive, massive Dave Mustaine fan, and it was always Megadeth for me instead of Metallica. I'm sure some of you out there are the opposite, but yes, it's Holy Wars. And then the second is Tornado of Souls. Marty Free's solo in this might be one of my favorite solos of all time. Again, another incredibly famous Megadeth song. It's not a deep cut, but these are the ones that stick with me. They stick with me hard. This band, up next at number 3, Pantera, Domination. Now, Pantera is the band that pushed me into darker, heavier metal. Actually, interestingly enough, the first Pantera song I ever heard was Cemetery Gates, and I heard it in my buddy's mom's car as she was driving us somewhere. He played it, and I remember being like, what the f*** is this? This is incredible. Cemetery Gates is incredible, but again, we're looking for anabolic songs here. We're not looking for songs that are so meaningful, in that. And so I want to think about energy. I want to think about what's going to get you to PR and go crazy, and that is Domination. Specifically, one of the hardest hitting breakdowns ever created. Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul, rest in peace, man. It breaks my heart that I never got a chance to see these guys play live. If they were able to put some sort of reunion together. I know that Phil Anselmo is getting the name Pantera, and they're going on tour, but it's just, if you know any of the history with that band, the band is Vinny and Dimebag Darrell, so it's not going to have the same feeling. Second place for Pantera is Shedding Skin. This is a song that, again, I heard at my buddy's upstairs makeshift gym, and it's always stuck with me. The album Far Beyond Driven is so goddamn heavy. Like, guys, just play it from the top. Just play Far Beyond Driven from the top. If you've never heard Pantera, it is just heavy, and it's amazing. And Shedding Skin is like one of my favorite, and I love the idea of shedding skin, like just getting rid of your old self or moving on from where you were, your dark past. All right, in the number 2 spot, we have Lamb of God. And the song that we have is Omerta. This song is just amazing. It's just, look, the energy from it and the lyrics, and it's just so amazing. Words can be broken, and so can bones. Execute the mandate. Just the alliteration, just Randy's singing, by the way, has not changed at all in however many years this band has been around. I just saw Lamb of God, I believe last year, and I'm seeing them this year. I'm seeing them in less than 2 weeks. I am so excited for that concert. Omerta, my favorite Lamb of God song. Second place in this one is Laid to Rest. The classic breakdown that if you've never heard Lamb of God, go to 2 minutes and 15 seconds into Laid to Rest, and you'll hear one of the most iconic breakdowns and like choruses for that. I don't want to spoil it, but you definitely need to check it out. Now, number one, this was a shoo-in for me. As far as training goes, as far as PRs that I've hit to this song, nothing even comes close. This might be my favorite metal song ever made, and it's from one of my favorite metal bands of all time, and that is Gojira. The song name is The Gift of Guilt, and I've actually made a video where I use The Gift of Guilt. I just didn't even give a shit about copyright. I was like, I need this song to be in here. I think Gojira is only going up, and they might be recognized as one of the best metal bands like of all time if they keep doing what they're doing. They've been around for a long time. I remember in high school my buddy showing them. I wasn't super interested in them, but I slowly started to get into them about 5 or so years ago, and they're just, right now for me, they're the best. They really are. Like, it's just I can't vocalize it enough, and I can't vocalize how much The Gift of Guilt means to me from a training standpoint. Now, second place for this is The Heaviest Matter of the Universe, one of my favorite goes. So, like, a lot of times in metal, you'll hear a guy scream "go," and then you'll hear the music right after it, whether it's thrash, like high, fast-paced, or if it's a breakdown, whatever it is. One of my favorite ever. Heaviest Matter of the Universe. That'll be second place from Gojira. That's all, guys. If you want to listen to these songs, I have them all curated on a playlist on Spotify. Go to Z Tellender, all one word, and then the playlist is called Trainings. I hope you guys liked this. Please comment any of the metal songs that you think that I missed, and I will see you in the next video.